Good evening, I'm Heather Herron.
And I'm Brett Thomas. A Fort Wayne City Councilman is embroiled in controversy tonight.
He is accused of threatening the job of a Fort Wayne police officer. We have live team coverage tonight. 15 Finds Out investigator Alyssa Ivinson sat down with Councilman Paul Ensley this afternoon and asked him some tough questions.
Angelica Robinson spoke with the people Ensley represents. She'll have reaction from an Ensley supporter. And
Sarah Wagner visited the property where this whole story started. We'll tell you what she found out about the house in question.
But we begin tonight with new details from the councilman himself.
He sat down with 15 Finds Out investigator Alyssa Ivinson and explained what some people are calling a threatening comment. She kicks off our coverage in Studio 15.
Well, City Councilman Paul Ensley says his comments were misunderstood and he was not abusing the power of his position. I can call Rusty York and have your job. You didn't say that?
Certainly not.
Why would the police report say you did?
I have no idea.
That was last night after City Council. Paul Ensley denying threatening to have a police officer fired during a domestic disturbance investigation. Today, we sit down with Ensley.
The words that came out of my mouth were different than the words that were written down in the police report. At no time was there any threat made.
The police report shows Ensley said, quote, "I can call Rusty York and have your job." A recording Ensley sent us says this.
Call Rusty, I don't care.
Someone could argue that name-dropping the high public official would be a threat without saying a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Again, in no way was I threatening this officer. I had requested a supervisor to be there, given the tone of the situation, and when no supervisor was called by the officer, I had just let him know that I would be contacting a supervisor.
We watched part of the video again today with Public Safety Director Rusty York. In the video, you can hear the officer take Ensley using York's name as a threat.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was what he thought.
Ensley says the officer was being hostile, and if he did call York, he would have brought this video to him. We also got York's take on how the officer was acting.
Sometimes, you have to be somewhat forceful if people aren't forthcoming, and listening to the recording, that's what I heard the officer doing.
Do you think the officer was too forceful or too harsh? Hostile is the word Ensley used.
No, I don't think so.
But the center of the whole controversy, should Ensley have said York's name at all?
For a public official, I don't think that's very appropriate.
I think that was bad judgment. It is not appropriate to try to use your position in any way to finagle out of a situation in which you may be interrogated and maybe asked for information. But I can see where this may have happened under these circumstances. It was not Paul who was the perpetrator.
Ensley says he was not abusing his position.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Now, last night, Ensley did file a domestic battery report in reference to Monday's incident. You can see that on Wayne.com. In Studio 15, Alyssa Ivinson, News Channel 15.
The controversy surrounding Paul Ensley has created a mix of emotions among his constituents.
News Channel 15's Angelica Robinson talked with people who live in the district he represents. She continues our live team coverage.
Well, I spent the day walking around the neighborhoods in District 1, and there's quite a range of reactions. Some questioning if he can handle the job, others still confident that he can represent the district well. A little over 2 months serving as councilman, and Paul Ensley is already making waves. At question, a dispute with an officer Monday morning over a domestic dispute. A police report says Ensley threatened to have the officer's job. What's concerning for some constituents is what they believe is an abuse of power. Some residents I spoke with say Ensley went too far, calling for him to step down. But not everyone is angry. One woman who preferred to remain anonymous says people should give Ensley the benefit of the doubt.
It's disappointing to hear our councilman try to use his status as in that way. They should be held to higher standards.
Without knowing the whole story, I think that Paul Ensley probably had justified reasons to say and do what he did. I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt since we don't know the whole situation.
Now, Ensley has said multiple times that he will not be stepping down as city councilman. Reporting live, Angelica Robinson, News Channel 15.
We are learning more tonight about the Northside farmhouse where all of this started. News Channel 15's Sarah Wagner continues our live team coverage from St. Joe Center Road. Sarah.
The farmhouse sits just across the street from us, right next to Arlington Elementary. According to the police report, a mattress in an upstairs bedroom is the only furniture inside. Today, Ensley told us that's because he's in the process of fixing this place up. State Representative Bob Morris confirmed to us this morning he owns this house and rents it. He would not say who he rents it to out of respect for his tenants. Morris also declined to comment on the situation, saying Councilman Ensley's personal life is not his business. And another police report filed last night, Ensley told police he recently purchased the farmhouse here on St. Joe Center. Today, he confirmed he's actually just still renting the farmhouse from Morris. He told us he started renting it a few weeks ago and is in the process of moving in. It's still not clear why Ensley and his girlfriend were at the house early Monday morning. We talked to several neighbors today. Nobody actually recognized Ensley, but they did say that they've noticed several people going in and out of the farmhouse during the last several weeks. Reporting live on St. Joe Center Road, Sarah Wagner, News Channel 15.
Count on News Channel 15 to stay on top of this story with continuing coverage on the air and online on WANE.com.